Mr. Ang Hin Kee.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, last week, a global icon of disruptive technology packed up and left Singapore. Yes, Uber came, disrupted, and left abruptly. Other apps which came and left include Easy Taxis and Kahoo. Most recently, Gojek and Jaknu arrived on our shores. Disruptive technologies will come and go, and we can expect this trend to continue. By now, we are familiar with how ride-sharing apps have radically transformed the taxi industries. These new technologies change the way we commute as more turn to such apps to book rides. This also means more job opportunities for freelance drivers. When ride-sharing apps first came onto the scene, they were pitting themselves against the taxi operators. Then the lines started to blur. Alliances started to form through products like Just Grab and Uber Flash. Eventually, we saw two large alliances, Uber and Comfort versus Grab and the others. More cabbies also started to use the app's platform, and many learned new technologies to make a living. However, the sudden Uber and Grab merger announcement, followed very quickly by Uber's quick exit, caught everyone by surprise. Uber employees were asked to pack up on the day of the announcement and to go home and wait for further notice. Commuters were worried about Grab monopolizing the industry. Freelance drivers were not sure how their livelihoods would be affected. Many had signed on to these ride-hailing apps to make a living. Some even changed jobs, bought a car, or leased it long-term to enter this market. They were perhaps lured by the promise of flexibility and good income. With Uber's sudden exit, there was no one to turn to, as both Uber and Lion City Rentals offices were closed, and the senior management at Uber Singapore were uncontactable. The whole episode left a bitter aftertaste. Perhaps disruptive technology brings along with it disruptive management. Hence, it is only right to ask, is this typical of how management of disruptive technology firms will operate in Singapore? I guess, like most things in life, it depends. There are many other apps-based platforms operating here, ranging from food, retail delivery to talent matching services, benefiting many freelancers. I recently spoke with the president of the Sharing Economy Association of Singapore, and he assured me that his members desire to be responsible corporate entities to freelancers and consumers. But how will we know if freelancers embarking on the gig economy or availing themselves to such platforms will not be left to deal with another Uber disappearing act? I propose 4 areas to strengthen the support for freelancers and those who are considering this career option. Let me first declare my interests. I work in the NTUC and I look after the welfare and needs of taxi drivers, private hire drivers and freelancers. What are the 4 ways? 1, do more to educate our job seekers and school leavers on what to look out for if they choose to embark on freelancing as a career option. Just last month, we met with 100 education and career guidance counselors from the Ministry of Education. The aim is to update them on the developments within the freelance communities. These enable them to better advise students who might be considering freelance work. Similar efforts are in place with career counselors for adult job seekers on what sustainable freelancing is like, the risk involved, and the possibilities. Many freelancer communities and platform operators have also volunteered to share their experiences and industry tips at these engagement talks. Secondly, look after the immediate needs of freelancers, especially in the area of healthcare. One way is to embrace the recommendations made by the Tripartite Work Group on Self-Employed Persons. In fact, some platform operators like Grab have started to make co-contributions to the MediSave account of the freelancers on their platform. This is an encouraging move and parallels existing efforts by taxi operators to help cabbies with their MediSave. The next step is for freelancers to have access to insurance products that protect them in the event of a long-term illness or injury. Since the loss of income is particularly troubling for self-employed individuals if they are unable to work for an extended period of time. Insurers have been approached by the tripartite work group to design such a product, and I hope it will be available soon. Coincidentally, in today's Straits Times Live section, there is also an extensive write-up about lives of freelancers in the audio, stage lighting, and rigging work, and the need for protection when they face with injury and long-term illnesses. In Madam President's speech, she also reminded us that we must continue to strive to become a more caring and inclusive society, especially for our workers. Freelancers, Mr. Deputy Speaker, are an important part of our workforce, and a good place to start is to provide a safety net for them. Thirdly, accord recognition to the dispute resolution framework set out by the supervising government agency. The Infocoms Media Development Authority, the MOE and the Land Transport Authority have already put in place such a system for media freelancers, sports coaches, instructors, as well as taxi drivers. Such dispute resolution system allows freelancers to work through payment disputes with the production houses, schools, and the taxi operators. More government agencies should set up such a framework so that freelancers under the purview of their respective sectors can be better supported. Perhaps applicants for government funding should also be required to offer medical coverage and dispute management framework for freelancers if they engage freelancers in their services. Fourth, caveat emptor or buyers beware is a great reminder to buyers to be careful when the deal looks too good to be true. This principle applies to freelancers too. For instance, many have wanted a light touch regulatory approach for the private hired sector. However, those affected with Uber's sudden exit from Singapore now question why the government could not do more. With technological disruptions and the speed that it is transforming industries, it is important that our regulators move quick to ensure a support system is in place for our freelancers. However, it is equally important that freelancers exercise caution towards platforms who do not want to subject or commit to tripartite standards, advisories and guidelines designed to do right by our workers. It is true that we want to remain a nation of opportunities where we can invite new ideas from the world to come to Singapore and take root. Our workers, including freelancers, are also prepared to adapt to evolving market conditions and embrace technology. Businesses likewise need to demonstrate a willingness to be in sync with our workers' commitment. Finally, are we upset with Uber for letting us down? Yes, I think we are. Are we still an economy that welcomes new ideas, allow test bed for innovations, and involve our local workforce in these exciting ventures? We most definitely are. Despite this Uber episode, we want to tell those with the best ideas and technologies to come to our shores. We are prepared to share risk. We are a city of innovation, of new adventure. However, an abdication of responsibility is not what we sign up for and should not be allowed to take root here, neither for our freelancers or for our workers. I support the motion, Mr. Deputy Speaker.